Hey there, soap fanatics. Welcome back to Peacock TV. Spoilers, your ultimate destination for all the juicy Salem drama. Today is a fantastic day to dive into some explosive Days of Our Lives spoilers for the Monday, June 29th episode. We are officially kicking off the first full week of July sweeps. And let me tell you, the storylines are about to pick up some serious, heart-stopping speed. Let's start with a quick casting update before we get to the heavy hitters. Peacock TV. Spoilers. We've been tracking this for weeks, and we finally have confirmation that on Tuesday, June 30th, we are going to meet the brand new Javi Hernandez. Jacob Martinez is officially taking over the role, and I am so incredibly curious to see what kind of dynamic energy he brings to Salem. Javi has been completely spiraling lately with his incredibly toxic infatuation with Leo Stark. Even with seasoned veterans like J.J. Devereaux trying to talk some sense into him, Javi is ignoring all the red flags. I personally believe this recast is perfectly timed because Javi is about to hit rock bottom with Leo's chaotic schemes, and a fresh face might be exactly what this storyline needs to elevate the drama. But honestly, Javi's love life is just a tiny appetizer compared to the absolute feast of DiMera family chaos we are being served this week. Let's be real for a second. The situation with Lexie Carver is absolutely shattering my heart into a million pieces. On Monday, June 29th, the horrifying truth about Dr. Wilhelm Rolf's twisted science experiment is going to rear its ugly head. Lexie's second dose of Dr. Rolf's so-called miracle serum is not performing as hoped. In fact, it is completely failing. Lexie's deeply troubling neurological symptoms are returning with a vengeance. We all knew this was a massive risk. We saw the lab rats dying from sudden organ failure, but E.J. DiMera, in all his arrogant, God-complex glory, pushed forward anyway. Now, Lexie Carver is living on borrowed time, and the clock is ticking faster than anyone anticipated. If you ask me, this is a huge mistake because E.J. DiMera has fundamentally destroyed a family for his own scientific ego. Lexie Carver is not going to be able to hide these terrifying tremors and dizzy spells from Abe Carver and Theo Carver for much longer. The spoiler notes confirm that she is going to wind up in Salem University Hospital, and the emotional fallout is going to be biblical. Think about the psychological torture this family is enduring right now. Abe Carver and Theo Carver already grieved Lexie once. They buried her after she tragically died from those toxic fumes in the DiMera tunnels years ago. To drag her back from the dead, give her family a fleeting glimpse of pure happiness, and then brutally rip her away again, that is a level of cruelty that only a DiMera could orchestrate. Abe Carver is going to rage at E.J. DiMera, and honestly, I am fully on Abe's side here. I hope Abe tears E.J. apart piece by piece for playing God with his wife's life. Speaking of the DiMera family's deeply toxic legacy, we have to talk about the absolute ghost haunting Salem right now. Stefano DiMera, Chad DiMera, and Belle Black are plunging headfirst into this incredibly dangerous chessboard mystery, and they keep finding cryptic clues that are driving them insane. The latest piece of the puzzle? An old Italian 1,000 lira bill. This immediately screams vintage Stefano. The man was obsessed with his European roots, and he never ever left a clue by accident. Amazing. I love seeing how the writers are tying current mysteries to the deep, historical lore of the show. Belle Black's brother, Paul Narita, has officially stepped into the ring to help. Paul asked for a picture of the Italian lira bill because he wants to analyze it using his extensive ISA connections. Having Paul Narita back in action to protect his family from Stefano's posthumous mind games is exactly the kind of legacy storytelling I live for. But here's the kicker, you guys. Chad DiMera and Belle Black are not alone in their investigation. Our spoilers reveal that a mysterious person is soon going to be spying on Chad, Belle, and Brady Black. Somebody is out there in the shadows, actively following Stefano DiMera's orders from beyond the grave. Can you believe it? This gives me absolute chills because it reminds me of the golden era of Days of Our Lives. Remember when Stefano brainwashed John Black into being the pawn? Stefano always had sleeper agents, loyal henchmen, and hidden cameras tracking everyone's moves. Who is this spy? Could it be a brainwashed Salemite walking among them? Could it be one of Dr. Wilhelm Rolf's secret creations? Whoever it is, they are watching Belle and Chad get closer to the truth. And that means our favorite legacy characters are in extreme, life-threatening danger. Now, let's pivot to the younger generation, because the drama is equally explosive and deeply tragic. Poor Holly Jonas is absolutely drowning in paranoia and guilt, and on Monday, she is going to seek out E.J. DiMera for legal help. Holly desperately needs to talk to E.J. about Amy Choi's impending lawsuit. Amy Choi is a grieving mother on a warpath, completely convinced that Holly's cyberbullying is the sole reason her daughter, Sophia Choi, is dead. But we, the viewers, know the chilling reality. That's crazy. Sophia didn't take her own life. She was brutally murdered, struck in the head with a heavy rock, and tossed into the freezing Salem River by none other than Kristen DiMera. Holly Jonas is taking the legal and emotional blame for a psychopathic murder, and it is tearing her mental health to absolute shreds. And you won't believe what happens next. E.J. DiMera is no fool. While the Salem Police Department is fumbling around in the dark, E.J. is connecting the sinister dots. Our spoilers indicate that E.J. may finally figure out how to prove that Kristen DiMera was the mastermind behind Sophia's death. E.J. is reportedly deploying his own DiMera henchmen to look into this, digging in the dark, dirty places where the cops haven't even thought to investigate. Here is my hot take for the day, and I know this might spark a massive debate in the comments. I passionately support E.J. DiMera completely destroying Kristen. Yes, E.J. is arrogant and caused the Lexie Carver disaster, but Kristen DiMera is a literal, irredeemable monster. She tried to have E.J.'s son, Johnny DiMera, assassinated by Sophia. Kristen deserves every single ounce of E.J.'s ruthless, cutthroat vengeance. I want E.J. to expose her, ruin her, and lock her away in a dark cell forever. This brings us to the most morbid, suspenseful question of the entire summer sweeps period. Will Sophia Choi, or her lifeless body, finally turn up? The spoilers are pointing us toward a very specific, creepy location, that abandoned boathouse. If you recall, Ariana Horton and Aaron Green were talking about this exact abandoned boathouse when they were out kayaking near the Horton cabin. Why would the writers drop that specific, eerie detail if it wasn't a massive clue? I personally believe that Sophia's body washed up right under those rotting wooden floorboards. Or, if we want to get really crazy with our predictive lore, what if Sophia Choi isn't actually dead? What if she miraculously survived the violent blow to the head, pulled herself out of the river, and is hiding in that boathouse, waiting for the perfect moment to exact her bloody revenge on Kristen DiMera and Holly Jonas? In Salem, you are never truly dead until we see a body in a casket, and even then, you might wake up a decade later. When you step back and look at the canvas for the June 29th episode and the start of July sweeps, it is an absolute masterclass in psychological warfare. You have E.J. DiMera fighting a brutal war on two fronts, desperately trying to cover up his massive medical failure with Lexie Carver, while simultaneously hunting down his own sister to avenge his son. You have Belle Black and Chad DiMera trauma bonding over a dead man's twisted chess game, entirely unaware that a phantom spy is tracking their every move. And you have young Holly Jonas, terrified of a massive lawsuit and a dead girl's ghost, while the real killer sits comfortably in the DiMera mansion, sipping espresso. We are witnessing the complete unraveling of multiple legacy families, and the emotional stakes have never been higher. July sweeps are going to fundamentally change the landscape of Salem forever. Families will be shattered, dark secrets will be dragged into the unforgiving light, and the DiMera legacy will inevitably claim new victims. I am counting down the agonizing minutes until Monday's episode, and I know you are too. So, let's get the conversation started. Do you think E.J. DiMera will actually hand Kristen over to the police, or will he enact his own twisted form of DiMera justice? And who do you think is the mysterious spy following Chad and Belle? Drop your wildest theories in the comments below. I read every single one. If you love this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Peacock TV Spoilers, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Stay safe, Salem fans, and keep watching your backs.